MOBA Fire Eaters around the world. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Stars of the 5v5 Rift on a 1v1 shift. 8 have become 2, and it's time to tango. On top of the river, 1 will float and 1 will drown. The cleavers are prepared, rust glistening, red-brown. Who will be the name heralded around the NLC town? It all comes down to this to claim the MMM crown. It's time for Mid-Split Mundo Ball Madness! Introducing our 2 finalists, 2 Danish representatives, both from the den, but who will leave the last mark. Firstly, a man whose cleaver accuracy has been compared to an auto attack. Representing 4th Wall, it is Jinrays. And his challenger, a man who needs no introduction, a legend in the NLC, but will he make history here? Representing Nativz, it's Den Voxney! Okay, and we're warming up into the finals as we can see Den Voxney in the blue, Jinrays in the red, and Den Voxney off to maybe a little bit
Okay.
weaker start than we've seen.
It's a wrap.
In some of these previous rounds, but in the final.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Who will be crowned king? We will find it very soon as we see quite a few missed cleavers early on in this round. Ghost's going to be fun. But Jinrays, he keeps it cool, calm and collected. Not going to go too early on. Will kind of keep himself close.
I haven't touched one, have I?
The stability that we want to see from him, right?
Yeah,
Very much a powerhouse in his games. Jinrays, though, very comfortable in this arena, heavily throwing these cleavers back and forth with them. Voxney going 1 for 1, and now
it's done?
take the lead.
For me?
Does he have it in him? Can he
for you?
The successful blows,
Okay.
To get a little bit weak here, and it does feel like Jinrays might be able to have this upper hand.
Okay.
A couple of slip-ups here in this later stage could be
okay.
One more from Devoxney could bring us close.
Okay.
One more hit could be it all. But Jinrays stays to the side, not going to go down.
Ooh.
In it as well, but one more still could get it, but he's going to flash away. Devoxney still with the flash.
No.
To the side.
Wait, can you still throw? Oh, you can.
Oh, ooh, jeez, that came down to the wire. I couldn't do anything but focus there. Holy sh.
Okay, and into round 2 we are here. Den Voxney picking up the first round. Very close between these two, though. Jinrays could come back.
Okay.
Cleaver's edge that we're sitting on as we go straight into the second one. Both cleavers going to land off the bat. Both contenders showing exactly how even they are. Both even missing their second as we're now starting to get into the thick of it. And it's interesting to see Den Voxney stepping up.
0 misses yet?
Playing very close, whereas Jinrays playing quite deep.
Still 0 misses? Okay.
Rock from the Ghost there, coming out from Den Voxney, giving that extra move piece, trying to make sure they can dodge, duck, dip, and dive away from these cleavers. As Jinrays is starting
First miss.
to get him a little bit closer to this edge now.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're smashing this one.
Position here, but it isn't over until the cleaver sinks into the flesh. Jinrays with a preemptive flash and gets the kill on both way to end the second round. 1 apiece as we go into round 3. Another swap of sides. So far, the bot side of the river has been the winner. Den Voxney now looking to pick up another win, but Jinrays is very much ready to stop this big name champion of the NLC.
It's done. It's done.
It's done.
No, okay, it's not. It is.
Holy shit.
What? I still win.
getting those jukes out, but needs to start landing himself to get a bit of an even footing as Jinrei's is going to take a couple of cleavers now, and maybe this could be the opening that Denvox they needed, getting them back to equal HP, and Jinrei's now could be pushed to the edge. We saw what happened when they were close at the end. It was now starting to get a few back into this one, taking Denvox low, but missing. This could be crucial. Can Denvox finish it off? But he misses as well. Jinrei's not gonna land, and it could be over, but a good flash will keep him in it. Jinrei's now one away, but good flash. But it's late. He gets caught, and Jinrei's gonna be
holy shit, I'm so bad. If I just splash that, you're fucking done.
Loki, it feels better to be on top.
What could be
I Loki feel better than bot.
Denvox on his last life. Jinrei's could take
shit.
with the early ghost, but Jinrei's with the early cleavers landing. Will this be his time to shine? Can he put this champion
scripts are on
and claim the MMM trophy for himself? It started off to a good start. Jinrei's is taking Denvox low. Will he recover? A lot on the shoulders of this match. This could
I'm actually getting shit on here.
That's
so cringe.
To end this one in style. Look at the HP difference. Look at the cleavers land. He is the Mundo in
one more hit.
Jinrei's one more could do it. Flashes forward like the second game, but this time it's flashed by Denvox. Not late. He lands himself.
One more hit. And it's a wrap.
How can I lose? So cringe. Alright, GG's, bro.
And there you have it. Legends do bleed. It is not the same game as a 5v5 rift. The 1v1 shift can change it all. But it is going to be Jinrei's, the newest and first champion of Mundo Ball Madness. And with that, he will be in the history books forever and always. Commiserations to Denvox, a champion as always, but Jinrei's is the name to praise.
Man, Mundo Ball is genuinely the hypest thing today. Like, I'm so invested in the breaks for the Mundo Ball, man. It's sick. Anyway, hello and welcome back. We're getting ready to go into our final game of the day here. It's going to be UniQ versus Nativz. This one is, it's important for Nativz, even though they're playing the bottom team and a team who cannot make it to playoffs at all. They are 100% out of it. Nativz need to this win because we've already had Verdant win a game today. So if they lose this, they could actually potentially be in without a shot of even contesting that top spot of the league. So honestly, over the Nativz, they're probably going to make this quick, clean, and honestly, they need to make it look decisive to prove that they are the top team in the league.
Yeah. I want to highlight that Nativz were actually struggling a little, right? They actually struggled versus Fourth Wall, who just lost, right? But they actually struggled versus Fourth Wall. And I do think UniQ are on a bit of a comeback, which is really sad because they're out. But they've had 2 roster swaps, bringing in Cast and I believe PlayStation, and they have kind of revitalized the team. I think they've been playing really, really well, especially around fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like we are getting into that picks and bans. The Maokai has been taken away alongside that Kindred here from the side of Nativz. Still looking at things like the Rel. I feel like if Nativz want a quick game, a Rel Rumble game may be their avenue in. They are just going to ban the Melio here from the side of UniQ. Something we have seen ever since Game 2, actually Game 1, is a lot of focus on the LeBlanc ban as well. Nobody really wants to be giving that one over. We'll see if that trend continues going into this part of the game.
Cast is known as a more carry-focused jungler. When he came in, he played the Belveth, actually, when UniQ was able to pick up in their, like, 6-game loss streak, whatever it was that they were on. So, might be seeing something of the carry nature coming through from him. But as it stands, just going to get that Kai'Sa ban. The Rumble is still open as well, is the Rel. So, some power picks potentially being slapped down here. It's going to be Rel. Now, my asterisk on this Rel pick, I do think Rel's great, and I think it's a strong first pick, but firstly, I don't think it's a great flex because I think it's a waste of Cast talent to put him on Rel, and secondly, it means the Rumble's probably going to be open. Obviously, Rumble's just being picked, but for me, this Rumble, I I think Uko is really going to struggle against this Rumble. From what I've seen of Uko, he has struggled in general as a top laner here in the NLC. And Rumble is not an easy champion to play into, especially when you consider the fact that the easier, kind of more passive top laners, the tankier top laners, Rumble destroys those. He is the tank killer. So I'm a little bit scared here from this draft perspective to see how it unfolds here for Uko.
Yeah. I think Nativz have a few options, but I definitely would try to secure jungle. You don't really want to let jungle fall down to a second pick phase because the role is just incredibly overtuned, and there's a very clear tiers of junglers. I'd imagine you pick Maokai here, or at least that's what I'd gun for here to secure a good jungler plus the Maokai Jace combination. Does look like, though, that is a Rel support, so they've showed the hand here. Now, Nativz have a choice of countering Rel with something like an Alistar, or what you do is you take Maokai and let support fall to the wayside. So we'll have to see what choice they make. Does look like they're gonna counterpick with that Nautilus, which actually in itself is a flex. It's a flex to the jungle, which is being utilized, I believe, in the LPL right now.
Okay, keeping the options open then on that front. Moving into that second ban phase, though. I expect to see quite a lot of early carry focus actually come down. We've already had the Kai'Sa and the Tristana banned away. I feel like Nativz could look to try and either play around that avenue, or, well, actually, is there bad Rumble matchups top at the moment that you feel like are actually more bannable?
Olaf, but I think you just go down the rabbit hole of pinching Cast. I really like what they're doing here, because Cast on his OPGG, if you take a look, he plays Kindred, Belveth, and I believe Lilia. And that's kind of it. So maybe you continue that. Otherwise, yeah, you potentially ban Olaf out, but I just don't think that Urko plays the counters or will play them out well enough. So yeah, I much prefer this route of banning out Cast.
So my question is then, if you've seen the Sejuani, Victor, and Rel, why are you still banning junglers? Like, does this mean maybe they don't expect the Sejuani to be in the jungle? Because it can't be mid, because you've got Victor, right? So it means maybe it's Uko's Sejuani in the top side, and maybe this is PlayStation's role. Like maybe it's trying to be like 5D chess here for UniQ. If that is the plan, then Nativz have seen right through that, obviously, by still continuing to ban cast junglers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's also a world where they just want to secure the fact that Sejuani is going in the jungle and not getting flexed elsewhere. Because they don't want to leave that option open and kind of just forcing Cast now to have to play that. They're quite happy to pick that Aphelios up with the Nautilus there. Now looking over to UniQ, they are locking in their AD carry at the moment, just thinking out a few different options, seeing what they're going to lock in. They do decide to commit to the Draven here. If that is a Draven Rel bot lane, that is a pretty scary bot lane, to be fair. That's capable of a lot of damage, can have a lot of shove. We'll have to see if that is going to be the case, though, whether or not... well, I guess, yeah, unless they are sending Sedge top genuinely in Rel jungle. I don't know. This is so awkward. This draft is so bizarre to me because of the jungle bans.
There it is.
That's a Jarvan.
Sedge top.
Native saw through it. They saw through it. Like, you saw...
No.
Yeah. You saw the Rel and the Sejuani be picked down first rotation, and UniQ was like, obviously one of these is going to be a jungler. I was like that too. And Nativz were like, nah, we know your game Cast. It's not going to be a jungler. It's going to be banning away those picks from the Belveth, from the Lilia, and the Kindred. Now, if this Poppy gets slapped down, this could be bad news bears here for UniQ. And it is going to be picked. Now, Poppy is one of Lee Sin's hardest counters just ever. Really gross. Like the matchup of like the archetype of what Lee Sin is versus like the tankier Poppy is difficult to play into anyway. But that steadfast presence, man, is so gross. You can't set up any of your plays or do any of your damage either, since Lee Sin's one of the few champions where your damage is linked to a dash as well. So not bueno here at all. Very unbueno.
It's even worse as well because it's not just the Lee Sin who gets denied by the steadfast presence. It's the Arctic Assault from the Sejuani,
yeah.
And the Rel
and
the Rel jump forward as well. There's like so many things that actually get denied just by one single button on that little Poppy. I really think that's a really, really solid final pick here for the side of Nativz, and they felt very comfortable to pick that one up. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the draft, actually, because if the Poppy wasn't here, I'd really actually quite like what UniQ have. I think they have some really cool tools. I think they're obviously very loaded in hoping Rusty Sniper and Unicorn can take over the game. But I don't dislike their draft. I just think with the Poppy and now obviously that Rumble as well to kind of control the area of the fights, I'm curious, you know, Aragon, do you think that Nativz actually got a really good draft here, or do you think UniQ have actually got some good tools themselves?
Yeah, so I think they have tools to at least play early game. They have tools to potentially send one gank topside with the Lee Sin Sejuani combo, where, you know, Lee Sin gets a bunch of attack speed and he can proc that passive really quickly. This used to be a mid jungle duo, right? Back when Lee Sin mid was a thing. So they have that going for them. So maybe Uka could get some attention there, but they also have the potential to potentially, you know, trade heavily down bot side, force some summoners and HP trades, and create some gank opportunities with that Lee Sin down bot side. Of course, it's really hard because when you factor in the 3v3, things could get a bit weird. But that's what I'd like to see with that Draven down bot side.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm worried about top. I think that UniQ as a whole is, with bringing in Cast and PlayStation, I think they're actually kind of a good team here in the NLC. Their record wouldn't suggest it since they're, you know, dead last, but I think they're pretty good. But I mean, it feels bad to just kind of hop to signal just one person out, but I think Uko's just not looked good. I just don't think he's looked comfortable. And, you know, UniQ, since making their roster changes, they played versus Ruddy and Verdant, and they beat Ruddy and should have beat Verdant. Were winning versus Verdant, but weren't able to pull out the win. You know, and that's the third place team, and like two of our top 3 teams, right? And they almost beat them. This is the last team in the league, so I think UniQ have a lot of potential, and we'll see. I just think this top lane matchup's so difficult, man. Like, Rumble's such a pain in the backside to deal with. It's such a strong pick on the patch, and very good into tanks as well. So for me, this really does lean on its top side, and also obviously what Cast can do on Lee Sin against Poppy.
Well, UniQ are actually going for the cheese play here.
Yeah, look for a late invade. You can see Shikari's actually hovering down to potentially stop this.
I think they saw
he's
PlayStation, but Stefan's low! First blood onto Rusty Sniper. An instant answer out, though, as Vladdy gets one for himself. That was a very, very optimistic play.
Yeah, I'm actually not the biggest fan of it, because if you take a look at the flashes pop, that's flash for Draven now, and the Lee Sin, huge playmaking tools in the early game. Whereas you take a look at the flashes pop by Nativz, those are Hex Flash users. You know, they've unlocked the best flash. So you haven't really created that much advantage. You've traded 1-for-1. Yes, you get first blood. But still, it's pretty rough. Like, good heads-up play by Shikari, by the way. Like, actually being there for that potential invade meant it was a 5v4 and actually playable. So well done to him.
The thing that I'm just mind-blown right now is that Nativz saw through the draft of Sejuani and Rel both not being junglers.
Yeah.
And then they saw through that play. Like, they knew that play was happening. Like, that... I just think that's so
They've
far
unlocked their third eye.
Honestly,
They're like,
innit? Like, they've just...
They're like Doctor Strange, but with good CGI.
I'm not gonna comment on anything because I don't watch any of those. I don't watch comic books.
I feel
films.
you. I feel your hip brain.
DC
It's bad
is
CGI,
not
bro.
my thing. So
What is your thing, Foxy? What are you into?
napping.
Napping.
Relate. Took one today.
Yeah, that's why I was almost missed call time. I was. No, I shouldn't admit that. I was very busy doing
take the bot.
important
Take the bot.
Yeah.
There's so much going on down bot side. Sorry, I got a bit hyped there because there's counter jungling going on, and Stefan was very chunked, and there's no flashes, right? So sorry to cut you off on your napping adventure.
No, that's fine.
Foxy.
It's not that
Oh
interesting.
no,
I promise.
Vladdy! This is just a simple ward hop
He's
kick.
got flash though.
No, it's
No
not
ward
a ward
hop.
hop kick. Oh! Jump scare!
You just walk up and auto.
He can't!
No.
He can't!
No! Oh my goodness. He drew
Wait.
minion aggro from attacking cast and died.
Oh,
What is
a
going on?
a comedy of errors right there.
Cast is so
Honestly.
tilted, bro. Cast is so tilted.
Honestly. Like, you said ward hop kick, he's level 2, right? He doesn't have
Yeah, he started
W
E,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately for him, yeah, I mean, there are a few champions that can do level 2 plays, and like Jarvan obviously being a pretty obvious example, but there are some champions that really want all of their abilities, and Lee Sin is one of them. And yeah, with no flash as well, you can't even like flash E to secure the slow and get into melee range. Like, that was just going to be a tough one, and still not too bad, to be honest. Like, Unicorn gets a kill, they get Vladdy under the tower. Like, I think it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
PlayStation is just sitting in a bush, not really going to be able to achieve too much here. As do you
Kinda
see,
scary.
that's a serrated buy onto Rusty Sniper, so he is very strong. As PlayStation's losing a large chunk of his health bar.
Yeah. And it's two serrated Dirks, right? It's on to mid lane as well. With that fumble on the dive, like Vladdy is also accelerated. And honestly, Vladdy's been playing extremely well recently. Carrying, I believe last week he was on Azir, and I was really, really impressed. He was under constant pressure. Teams just seem to like to focus him. Maybe he's on these picks that, where he can get focused very easily, but he always often outplays. And again, he's doing the exact same thing. He's 2-1 with that early serrated Dirk, and I'd expect to see him take over the lane a little bit. Something that I didn't highlight before, because there was so much action going on, was top side. UniQ actually got forced to recall, and you could tell by buying a tier, right? He bought a tier. He got first to recall in the first 3 waves. So he was down 10 CS to like 23, and when Shikari receives this wave again, Shikari's going to have a lead. So not going quite as bad as I expected. Some interaction I figured, which might be realistically possible, is that how Flame Spitter, it goes in the direction you're facing. I think UniQ turns your champion around, right? So
when you slam into
when
someone?
you queue into it. Yeah, I think that might be the idea. Maybe UniQ is 5-head. I was trying to justify this pick in any way possible outside of getting jungle attention. But yeah, not actually going too bad right now.
No, not at all. But for now, it is constantly, these teams are constantly looking for something, for some opening, for some opportunity to make some level of action happen. As you can see that the support PlayStation did roam up towards the mid lane. Stefan smelt that happening though and did step away. As Nativz, they're starting the dragon. They've got Stefan in the area. They're feeling comfortable to contest it. As Cast is on a recall, so he can't really do too much of this at all. So dragon number 1 will go to Nativz for free.
This is gonna be. I feel like when you've got like Draven, like Lee Sin and things like that, you're looking to maybe do a little bit more early, but this mid pro, like constant mid pressure from Vladdy is just very difficult to argue against, It's a nice little dragon pick up here from Nativz, but UniQ don't really have the play to do anything right now, and I think it might just have to be once Cast reaches level 6. Maybe that's what UniQ are waiting for, and until that point, it might just be a very, very slow lane phase. Obviously, you want to ideally get down to the bot side with Rusty Sniper and try and cash in those stacks. We'll see what Lee Sin can do and what the rest of UniQ can do to try and make that happen.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't die randomly and lose all the stacks, I think it's going to be all good. He can catch them in later with that empowered ultimate. That's typically what we see these days. But yeah, mid lane prior, like you highlighted, Foxy, is just it's Dirk to Mana Crystal, right? Like what can UniQ realistically do? It's kind of brutal. On top of that, Cast is trying to farm for his life to catch up because of those 2 deaths. So all in all, kind of slow early, actually, despite those shenanigans in level 1. Not too much is happening. Rift Herald is spawning very soon, in less than a minute's time. You can see supports both making their way up top side with both AD carries just like content farming. We'll probably see a bit more action from UniQ because Draven can throw the ultimate towards Chain CC being landed at the Rift Herald fight. But still, you see PlayStation, what he's doing. And I want to highlight PlayStation. He's been so incredibly good at finding engagements. Right now, what he's doing is he's trying to soak XP for level 6 to maybe make this fight at Rift Herald work.
Well, as we are kind of in a bit where we had a lot of action at the beginning of the game, and then it's kind of somewhat alleviated. UniQ is finding actually onto Stefan here. Stefan throws down that steadfast presence. They do find themselves a quick catch on to PlayStation, but great little W there from UniQ. We'll make sure that there's not going to be any further action, as these teams are constantly posturing. They're always looking for it. Cast was just waiting over the wall in case another engage happened, and this Herald really is going to get fought tooth and nail for.
Yeah. Both supports frantically waiting for that level 6 as the engage comes through.
All the Whirl of Death does come down, but Stefan, with a great steadfast presence, stopped any follow-up shenanigans. But with Nativz now really heavily chunked out, it does feel like UniQ should be able to get their hands onto this Rift Herald for free. They've even rotated Rusty Sniper into the area. He's going to head back down towards that bot side, and I don't think Nativz can contest.
UniQ did just take a bit of a bad trade in the top lane, however. He looks like he might be dead.
Ooh,
he's... Yeah, I think this might be it, honestly.
PlayStation? Okay, don't worry, Herald's over.
Yeah, I just... You lost all control on the top side. UniQ was even lower than that when he when I first started that sentence. Like he just got mega chunked out by Shikari, and after that happened, you just can't really go for it. And so Nativz now going to pick up another objective. They've got the first dragon. They're going to take Herald as well here. see what they decide to put that and slap that one down. Vladdy, though, is really starting to get pretty big here. He died in that first spot on the invade, but aside from that, he's just got that 3 kills. He's massive. And are we getting a contest?
It's going to be picked up. Stefan's able to get it, but they're going to keep the pressure up. There goes the red carpet. Cast gets a great kick back onto Shikari. Shikari's finished up, and it's a Herald for 2 kills. UniQ grabbing himself one, while UniQ grabs the other. Lovely stuff there by UniQ to find a way back in and an answer.
Yeah, and honestly, as much as we've been like discrediting UniQ's play, you know, or saying he's not doing so well, that was exactly what the team needed. Finding that fight on the tail end of that Rift Herald play, managing to find the engage, and then that flash kick from the side of Cast, another player we highlighted, managing to find the double kill, right? And in the end, it's actually not a bad play. Now TP is having to be forced by Shikari to catch that wave, and he's not going to be able to TP to the next potential dragon, you know, the second dragon fight, whereas, you know, UniQ could potentially walk down now. So really, really good stuff. Heads up play by an engage from UniQ.
All in all, that is definitely good for UniQ, I would say, at the end of it. Even though, you know, the Herald does go down for Nativz, getting 2 kills there is definitely fine. I think with this Sejuani pick, like, I know I was picking on UniQ a little bit before the game, and then he did take that bad trade, which opened up the Herald to begin with there. But outside of that, I thought he was going to, you know, I thought this game was going to really suck in the top side. He's done perfectly fine. Stabilizing inside this lane and just, you know, going pretty equal against a Rumble, which is not an easy matchup. And outside of that, once you leave the lane phase, this Sejuani I think has a crap ton of value in team fights. Like, all of the carries on Nativz sides are low mobility. Like Jace, Philios, Rumble. You hit any of these guys with some CC, and the rest of your team follows up, they're just dead. Just 100% donezo. So Sejuani can be really scary as these fights go on, and the fact that UniQ's gotten through the lane phase pretty much unscathed is a definite plus for UniQ.
Yeah, take a look at UniQ. He's actually managed to shift downwards from topside, so it looks like he's prepared to give up some plates to make sure this dragon is secured, right? Like you see, Shikari's actually going to push in that wave. They're pinging the tower. Maybe UniQ is just going to be content securing this river control because him being there threatens the engage. And now the dragon goes over to the side of UniQ.
Cast's going to get it. Picks that up with the smite. PlayStation's actually thinking about it. Magnus Norn comes in. There's the steadfast presence landing on to 1. Cast is low HP. The Graviton pins 2 down. Vladdy takes to the sky and secures the kill. A UniQ answers out with a shutdown. But that is 3 over to the side of Nativz.
What about the stacks? That's the question. Draven lost all of his stacks. Don't think he was. No, he didn't cash in. He got that first kill at the beginning of the game, so that's even more than just a simple death right there. He's going to lose a lot of gold on that one. Not bueno at all. UniQ moved down to be in the area for the dragon play to try and fight with his team for dragon and secure it. But he left. He went back topside because he's like, oh yeah, cool, we're chilling. We got this. It's free. It wasn't free. Nativz was still going to contest. Look at Vladdy, man. He's massive. He's huge. He's got that dust blade already. Almost finishes Man Immune 2. It's looking scary.
Yeah, and first blood tower going over to the side of Nativz. All the entire time, that entire early laning phase, Denvoxny was actually coming out ahead in trades against Rusty Sniper and Isolation when there was a bunch of Rift Herald fights. He was taking plates solo, and in the end, that brought it down to 2 plates as a dive comes through.
Oh, missing out on the hook. UniQ's able to jump away. Cast actually lays the kick down, and now he's in danger. Vladdy in the area, en route, securing himself the kill. As he even got the Q onto UniQ at the same time. That was so stylish.
That was a good read by Nativz right there, though. They just have the book on UniQ. Everything that UniQ is trying to do, they just read it perfectly. A great flash from Shikari. The rest of the team was there to answer as well when Cast's play.
Oh no! Denvoxny! Just assassinates him! UniQ should be able to find a turnaround as Denvoxny misses out on the Q. Has no way of surviving that one. And he is zapped by UniQ, who is the glimmering hope for his team. 4-0 on that Victor.
Yeah, he's just running around putting out fires, isn't he? Everywhere he goes, he manages to find something with that ultimate. He's doing a lot of work right now with that complete Leandries, but when he has to go somewhere, Jace Vladdy just punishes and takes place in the mid lane, right? So it's not all great news for UniQ. Yes, you're getting kills on UniQ.
Oh no.
Can he carry at this point? Oh, PlayStation.
Youches.
That is a lot of damage.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of Jace, haven't we? usually as champion, I'd consider pretty damn difficult, but most of their Jaces do really well. I guess we have a lot of good Jaces in this league.
He's pretty powerful as a pick overall right now, isn't he? Almost 7,000 gold as well in this game specifically. I guess UniQ is kind of close to that actually, which is very good. As you mentioned, Jake, 4 kills for him. But I think it's a really important point that Aragon mentioned. He's just putting out fires, and it's not really conducive to success. Like, he's not initiating and starting and driving plays and really exerting his strength onto Nativz. He's just kind of mopping things up and stuff, and it's at this moment not really done too much.
He needs to do on starting fires, and it looks like PlayStation looking to jump in here, popped back midair. Oh, it's so sad.
At all. This is bad. This is bad for UniQ. This is not bueno.
They lost the tower as well. Oh.
Yeah, it's not bueno. The mid's getting pushed, bot's getting pushed. So it's.
By the way, bot had a herald charge on it, so that's actually may go down here because it's already chunked from the herald. They're looking for Dem Voxney, but he just walks away because they can't catch him. That tower bot lane did survive. Shikari wasn't able to shove the wave in time, but that tower is very susceptible to falling, and that's a big injection of cash into the pocket of Shikari if he can get his hands on it. And he's the last one who kind of needs to start getting some gold for his team because you got a 6-2 Jace, you got a 2-1 AD carry on the Aphelios. Like, get a tower gold into Shikari, and he's a mythic. And PlayStation is about to get toasted. Shikari, there's the gold he wanted. They're going to look for the kill onto Cast as well as Voxney with the Infernum able to get it. Stefan finds the knock up onto UniQ, who's able to dash away, puts down the slow. Twist, miss the grump, but in comes the shutdown from Vladdy with the Q. And it looks like we might be on track for a pretty quick game at this rate.
Agamemnon's date is still open for Jake. Potentially.
Oh, I don't know.
Nativz are very much in control of this game. It's a great team fight there. Big shutdown against UniQ as well. Everything that UniQ try and do, it's just being read by Nativz. They have the answer for everything, and it sucks. It sucks for UniQ. They haven't been able to find too much. They did get Shikari in that last fight, but it's pittance. It's nothing compared to what Nativz have been doing to them.
I also just want to quickly draw attention to the 3 games we had prior to this. It felt like they were all relatively close. Ruddy was the least close of our games, but there were still moments where I feel like Fourth Wall had some level of a contest. This feels like a very, very, just a very controlled game by Nativz. Yes, they've given up a few kills, but I think in the grand scheme of things, they've made the right call every time. They've had the right read on UniQ. And you would expect that from the top team versus the bottom team, but this is more just proving a point that Nativz are a team who seem to read and take serious every game to make sure they play as clean as possible. And Nativz definitely, putting their name forward as the top team in the league. They are still currently tied with Verdant, and tomorrow will decide a lot for them. Keep in mind as well, for the side of Nativz, they actually have a harder run of schedule for the last week of the NLC because they are playing Ruddy at the end of tomorrow.
Cast?
The old Cast. Good kick. Lovely little pick actually there onto Vladdy. Vladdy, he's just hosted. Actually, he's found it. He gets the flash over the wall. Cast is going to get the chase up. Vladdy! Oh my word!
It's just absolutely brutal, isn't it? You'd think he would just get one shot, but then you realize there's a support rel, right, and a 0-6 Lee Sin, and a very accelerated Jace, and they just end up doing no damage, right? They get beaten by their wallet. Unfortunately, Vladdy just comes out on top.
That was a fat stat slap from the dollar bills of Vladdy. Not messing about with that one, unfortunately, for UniQ. It's a good attempt to try and pull something out of this, but unfortunately, just not going to happen. And to be honest, even if it worked, is that gold injection onto Cast or PlayStation really gonna mean anything?
You take anything at this point, don't you?
Well, absolutely.
You absolutely.
You shouldn't just not do it because of that. But I just don't think it. Yeah, it's dire. We're in a dire situation here for you.
Vladdy Gold is insane, by the way. Like, he's building towards his Sherelda's grudge. He's still he was a moment ago a fair distance away from actually stacking his mirror mana. That just shows like how much gold he's got. He's had that tier and he's not even finished stacking it, and he's already on the 3rd item. Like, he's had so much gold. Herald's going to charge onto this tower. Nativz don't decide to escort it forwards, or do they? No, they don't. They're quite happy with just taking that mid lane tower and playing this game by the book. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Cast is a shattered individual. He is so
he's a
sad.
broken man. Oh, that
0-6,
takes everything.
can't even get his chickens.
Absolutely brutal stuff. As UniQ, it kind of feels desperate at this point. Going mid lane, maybe, you know, hovering Rusty Sniper to be able to get this farm. Maybe he can eventually cash out. I think that's the dream scenario, right? Because at this point, we've got to just consider how can they bring this back. And you look at the shutdowns, you look at a dream kick scenario cast, he pulls off maybe a shackle flank, like in the future, and kicks the Jace into them and inserts a bunch of gold into Rusty Sniper. I think that's the dream, but Nativz have been so clean. I just don't think they're going to allow that to happen.
No, I don't think so at all, unfortunately. I think Nativz have just had this read so well. There's Denvoxy. Lands that Calibrum snipe there. Gets a whole bunch of damage off. Now, the good news is, Nativz are all worth a shutdown. All but their jungle and their support. So, a good pick or a good fight, which I'm not going to say is going to happen because they are significantly down in gold. But if that does happen, if the perfect setup happens and Rusty Sniper or UniQ do find themselves those kills, that might be their opportunity. The Whirling Death comes down. PlayStation is dead. UniQ is gravitomed in place. He tries to finish up Denvoxy, who's burning low. Shutdown gifted over. Rusty Sniper turning to find the opening in this fight, and somehow UniQ find that opportunity. They find those couple of picks, and there it is.
Yeah, and UniQ actually managing to find that engage despite having so much peel and disengage for Denvoxy on the side of Nativz, right? Managing to get the Rel past a Poppy and Nautilus is just mind-boggling. And even then, it looked like it wasn't going to be great. But somehow, again, it turns around, and UniQ, I think they're just going to pick up the Baron now, and who knows what they can do from there.
How do we get here, by the way? I'm lost.
So, you know
30
how...
seconds ago, it was Gucci. Jake was getting his Wagamamas. We were going home early. It's fine. What on earth is going on? Like, crazy at one fight. It didn't even look like a good fight to start with, right? Maybe that's just me, but like, it didn't look like a great engage. But Nativz,
there's a real answer
fumbling
here,
the
right?
bag.
There's a real answer in they just played that fight very well. There's the joke answer, and I think we all know that Aragon is to blame.
Damn it, Aragon.
Oh man. Yeah, but no, really. Nativz have so many tools to keep Denvoxy alive to the point where Denvoxy really doesn't have any threats, right? You hold NLC for Rel, you hold Poppy W for Lee Sin as well. And there's no way that Aphelios isn't allowed to hit. But they managed to weave a Rel behind, like, through 5 people. And I have no idea how PlayStation managed to do it, but he did. And that's what they need to keep up on doing. Now maybe they could turn this into the Dragon and top tower. And maybe Cass can look for a flank. Because I think that's definitely what they need to do with this first move into the river.
I do still worry. That was a lovely little fight. And it has actually pulled the gold to just 1,000. As Rusty Sniper just... adrenaline rushes out of the fog of war towards 5 of Nativz. This PlayStation comes in, pulling them in with the Magnet Storm. There's the red carpet laid down. Rusty Sniper's untouched. Vladdy finds UniQ though. That might just be their opening. Rusty Sniper's still getting the damage down. And that is a very close fight.
It's 1 for 2 at the end of it. UniQ really low health bars, but just enough to be able to continue on forward. Take this second drag, potentially take this second dragon. I don't think Nativz are going to contest it instead. And another great engage here from UniQ. You said it, Aragon, at the beginning. PlayStation's been very good at finding engages, and he's doing it again here. Obviously, Rel's one of the better champions at doing it, but still huge props to him for turning this one around. I think a 1 for 2 is absolutely fine when you are able to take a dragon off the back of it as well. And UniQ might just be clawing their ways back into this game.
Yeah, Rusty Sniper is really accelerated now. Has that 300 gold bounty and 3 items, right? So really surprising stuff. Like, even still, that engage wasn't perfect, right? You could see the power of holding that steadfast presence for PlayStation's engage, and this time they couldn't get that perfect engage like they did before. And even still, it wasn't too bad. So Twist getting one-shot by Rusty Sniper, everyone getting, like, dropped really low from the side of Denvoxy. Honestly, a little heart-wrenching for UniQ. It was very close to being a brilliant fight. Still, though, third Dragon's next. How do teams accelerate to that point? It looks like they're going to be using the Baron to siege and take that mid lane tower. I imagine this is going to be the last thing they do. And they're going to hover everyone over to the side. Look at PlayStation on that flank. right? He's not on vision. I imagine he skirted all that vision, so we could see something juicy here.
He's looking for it. Here he comes in on the flank. Magnet Storm comes down. Steadfast presence is there. They find the lockdown onto Demboxy. He's able to shift away. Cast gets the kick, but it's in the wrong position. And they trade out 2 for 1. Knockups landing. Rusty Sniper's still healthy. Unicorn, same for him as well. Tower goes down. Unique, they're probably okay with that one, to be honest. They get that tower, and they do get some injection of gold.
They get a tower, but these guys just never stop, do they? Like, honestly, they're just continuously always looking for the engages, always looking for the fight. That time it is 2 members going down. To be honest, like, Cast and PlayStation were the duo that came in here 2 weeks ago when UniQ were looking to mix things up, and these guys are the catalyst, like perma aggression for UniQ. And I do like it. I like it when a team doesn't just roll over and die and commits to trying to find some plays, because they know if we stick with the status quo, the pace of the game, we are going to lose. And they're like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to try and make something happen. Let's try and spark something, get it going. I just think they're maybe trying a little bit too much, a little bit too hard. And it's not quite working out for them. But they, you know, credit to them, they have drawn back a lot of this gold lead, and these fights are, they're doing something, and it's kind of working.
Imagine having a 0-8 lease in, and this game still looks super winnable.
Right, that's 50% of my solo queue games. The first part, not so much the second part.
Oh, hello.
Flay?
They might be in trouble. Flay gets delivered in. Stefan actually bops back the wrong person. In comes Rusty Sniper. Instant red carpet goes down. Demboxy finds a huge opening for the Moonlight Vigil. Rusty's cooked. In comes Stefan though. The laser beam's huge. Unicorn finds a double kill. And there's a brief respite. There's a slight turnaround. The gravity field buys the safety of his team. Unique can't keep getting away with this, man.
But they are.
Oh
it's
no!
ridiculous.
I don't know who I'm knowing here. This is so tight. Oh my god.
Everything misses. Everything whiffs. Cast Q misses. Otherwise, I imagine he's
No,
taking it, 'cause
everything's
that's what he's done.
dodged.
With every Q he's taken, I imagine he would take that one too. But what a weird start to a fight. Takes the empowered blast cone and lands and says hello to Vladdy and Stefan, right? And then the entire fight is just in shambles after that. Rusty Sniper and Cass both drop to 1 HP as the Triumph proc comes in, saving Rusty Sniper.
Yeah.
Holy moly, that could have been worse.
That's, honestly, Cast and Rusty, like you say, blinking health bars. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That start I just thought was not good for UniQ whatsoever. And I to answer your question, Jake, I have no bloody idea how they keep getting away with it. What is going on? This is such a ridiculous game. I feel like this is brilliant though, right? The first game of the day was absolutely intense, ridiculous, great action with one of our top teams in Verdant. The last game of the day, same thing. Loads of actions, intense, another one of our top teams. It's super interesting to see how this one goes out. And again, the fog of war thing, which is a point that we've been bringing up a lot in all of our games, it's been a continuous theme. You do not want to face shake into the team of UniQ or into Nativz. The engage here from these, you know, Nautilus, from Rel, from Sejuani, easily could just bring you down, and that vision control is going to be very, very important to decide the pace of this game.
That's a big wave crashing top. Unicorn was able to take that tower, get that injection of cash. He's 3 items. He's got his Death Cap, his Leandries, his Zhonya's Hourglass. Like, he is doing some really serious damage at this point. Very, very scary to be going near, as UniQ maybe setting up for the play. Look at PlayStation. This is always the angle he takes. Sits off to the side, waits for the perfect opportunity to get that Magnet Storm. Decides it's not worth taking. I think they want to get some shopping done before they maybe take the next fight. Although the Dragon is up. Are UniQ just going to try and trade? Yeah. They're going to build Baron. They're just getting control of the area.
Both teams are absolutely terrified to try and move into a Riverside, because then the other team will go straight to the Baron, right? So it's a complete Mexican standoff. Both teams just want to stay in mid to be the first onto the objective.
There it is!
Comes down.
They catch onto Twist. Twist caught out for the moment. The Moonlight Vigil's used. The Whirling Death is coming forward. Twist is low. Twist is fine. Cast jumps onto Demboxy. He's got the assassination. Demboxy's low. Rusty Sniper's still in the game. Unicorn, Whirly, and he's able to find himself the kill. Absolute carnage this game. Somehow Demboxy, with both summoner spells, limping to safety. And that Dragon number 3 for UniQ.
It's just so obscure. I don't get it. Stefan instantly knocks Unicorn away, who is the guy for UniQ. He is the guy. And it's still an equal fight. And we're going to get another one.
Oh, good interrupt. Stefan is down. UniQ finds himself the kill. They're looking for Denvoxney now. He's getting absolutely obliterated by the laser beam. And somehow UniQ have just undone everything we said at the beginning of the game. This is not looking one-sided at all.
I mean, it kind of is, but not in the way that we thought it was going to be 10 minutes ago. 1,000 gold ahead now for UniQ. These guys just do not roll over and die. It is really nice to see, and now they're turning. Yeah, there's no breaks, and this team is there. They're just going to keep on going, and Baron's the next target.
Yeah, Rusty Sniper with a beautiful bit of micro on the E interrupt onto the Poppy stun against the wall. Turns it around completely. You saw how they managed to turn around that fight, despite being 3v4 actually, and without Smite, getting that dragon because of the health bars. Crucially, Denvoxney was extremely low, so he couldn't face check. And it was just on Stefan, and again, he got interrupted. So, third dragon for UniQ. It's going to be fourth dragon next. Let's see if they get Soul, and I'm excited to see it. We might be in for an upset.
I mean, this is a major upset. I think this is something we've kind of almost ignored.
It already is, yeah.
Is if Nativz lose this, and then even if they win versus Ruddy tomorrow, as long as Verdant beat... Who are Verdant playing? Verdant are playing Fourth Wall. If Verdant win versus Fourth Wall and UniQ have won here, Nativz go second, regardless of the outcome from tomorrow.
I think if Nativz lose this game, they're guaranteed second because they don't have the head-to-head versus Verdant, right? They're 0-2 against Verdant, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, so there's a condition where Nativz... Oh, no, you might be right. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, that is rough.
I was a moment of maths there, and I realised, yeah, oh god, this doesn't add up for them.
This is, you know, a bit odd to say, a must-win game that they might not win. The first-place team versus the bottom team. Another engage.
No way, he's going in. No, he held it this time, waiting for the opportunity. Ooh. Moonlight Vigil does land onto 2. Shield comes in, but that's 2 towers down. UniQ using the Baron well.
How antsy is Nativz now that Denvoxney commits the ultimate to that play? They're actually, they're cacking themselves. They're terrified of UniQ right here because they know they're just constantly engaging, constantly fighting. The composure is completely gone from Nativz right here in a game that they were absolutely in control of. It's shocking to see, really, but
it's PlayStation, isn't it though? Like he's playing he's playing the biggest kind of like mind games with them, because up until that moment, oh, we have a pause. Up until that moment, every time the PlayStation Hex flashed forwards, he immediately jumped forwards, and the Steadfast Presence comes out, the immediate Moonlight Vigil as an answer. That time he just Hex flashed forwards, didn't do anything. Steadfast Presence comes out, Moonlight Vigil comes out, expecting that instant jump in from the rail. It's the mind games that are starting to pay off for Rusty Sniper, and now that one went down, they'll be a little bit hesitant to do the same thing again. And that time maybe he will go forward. It's the real mind games, and Nativz are probably a little bit sweaty right now.
I would be sweating. I would be sweating buckets if I was Nativz. Like, the pressure of this game as well. Like, this game does mean something. We touched on it. Yeah. Like, if Nativz lose this game, because they don't have the head-to-head against Verdant, who are the other team fighting for first place, they can't get it, right? If they don't win this game, they're locked into second. Yeah, and imagine that. Imagine it being like the last week of regular season. You've beaten pretty much everyone. You've beaten every single team in the league except one team that you've lost to twice. Everyone else, you've just rolled over them. All Gucci, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then you get to the last week of games, and you mess it up so that you can't guarantee that you come against the bottom team. Exactly. It's honestly scenes right now here in the NLC.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit disingenuous to say bottom team, because yes, it's standing, but last week, I started the stream off by saying, you know, UniQ actually didn't look bad last week, right? They got Soul versus Verdant, right? And they very much could have won that if it wasn't for some crazy backdoor from Nile. So I think that this UniQ, I said a lot of words, you know, like revitalized, you know, with these new substitutes. And I strongly still believe that. We're seeing it. Right, look at PlayStation. No matter how far behind he is, he's trying, you know, and he's finding these engages, and it's just really impressive to see.
I love it, by the way. You look at the scoreboards. Sorry, Jay, but you look at the scoreboards. PlayStation and Cast, the new guys here, who are the aggressive catalysts of this game.
0-17.
To be honest, yeah, exactly. Like, what the hell? Like, 0-17-20.
Hey, you're ignoring the 20 assists.
It's ridiculous that these are the guys, like, It just goes to show like how much the I mean, I hate the word intangibles, but do you know what I mean? Like just that like shot calling and just the willingness to just go absolutely ham here has just been so important, and it is not to you know kind of kick someone when they're down, but we saw the Veneer games specifically when they started to fall behind, they kind of just rolled over and died. It is the absolute opposite of what we're seeing here today, and big credit to UniQ for pulling this one back. And it is the sign of a good team.
It really is. As we're back into the action, back into the game. Big wave starting to push up. Stefan eats the laser beam. There's the red carpet immediately out. That's a massive chunk, but they committed Rumble R for that. Yeah, he's level 16, so the cooldown isn't that big, but that was a relatively large committal. Baron is about to time out, actually, so they are not going to be able to get another wave under, so in the end, a worthwhile play from the side of Nativz to commit the Rumble R to make sure that tower does remain standing.
Yeah, well, no, dude, it's halfway to being up again already.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's
This
every
is
2
nerf
waves.
cooldown, by the way, right? Like I remember I'm fairly certain, or maybe
They
it's
nerfed the
next.
cooldown,
Yeah. It's crazy. Like Rumble Jungle is kind of like my fun pick to play, and one of the reasons is because it's like you gank with ult. And then when you go to gank again, you have ult up again, and it's like there's no counterplay. It's hideously gross, especially once you're level 16, and with no Baron buff, the minions will not survive that red carpet at all. So it's all about Dragon now, though. 30 seconds until the 4th Dragon for UniQ potentially. It is that sole point. It is only Chemtech, which I know is not particularly valuable, but I can't imagine Nativz want to give this one through. Really curious to see how this team fight develops.
Yeah, mid lane being contested, you can imagine at any point someone's going to pull the trigger. You see the ulti coming out. Super close. Cast here, though. He can get into a really nice position for a flank if he wants to, although he might just continue doing what he has been, sitting on the carries and buying space with the kicks to disengage. It is on Nativz now to find something before the dragon gets bursted down.
Well, they're going to come in, they're going to send one packing, but that is going to be the dragon secured. Twist gets the knock up, UniQ staying away. Rusty Sniper has found himself in danger. There's one kill. Rusty Sniper with the collector gets a triple kill. Nativz! It's gone so wrong so quickly.
No, I think that Voxley's done so as well, right? He's got his flash, though. He's got his flash. He should be able to survive this one. Uko won't be able to bring him down himself.
Uko's dead.
But then no way!
Den Voxday's just, he's dancing on him, right? Like, what was that? He's so clean. Managing to turn around the situation, but still, that is soul for the side of UniQ.
Dude,
right? That's soul, and now probably Baron.
If the spectators can hear me, can we look at Denvoxe's corpse right now? Because he is absolutely, just purely, it is the summary of that play. Look at him. He's T-posing on them, bro. You see that? He flashed in on them. He did the play, made it happen, and that's what he thinks about that. Oh, he's got his little grippers out. Oh, put those away, bro.
It's got his grippers out.
I didn't notice that before.
Oh man. Baron is spawning very soon in 10 seconds time. Both teams teleporting in to make sure they secure this river control. We saw how hard it was for the side of Nativz to get onto Rusty Sniper, and if no one touches Rusty Sniper, this 6-item Draven just mows down everyone, critting for 1,000s, right? On top of that, UniQ, the silent hero of this game. We said he was putting out fires, but now he's just straight up carrying. Every single team fight is probably doing mad damage.
He is,
right? And I imagine it's going to be the exact same thing at Baron.
Well, they did try and focus him last game, but in that last fight, but he was able to use his flash to get away. The big thing is he won't have flash, or there won't be a heal or flash on Rusty Sniper either going into this next fight. The major thing, though, to keep in mind is they both got, well, one stopwatch, and that Zonya's on UniQ, and a GA on Rusty Sniper, who's level 18 and full build at this point.
What I'm not able to wrap my head around for these team fights is like, Nativ's team fight comp is very strong. And on Stefan's credit, he is knocking someone out every time, but they're still losing the 4v5. It's ridiculous. This Baron is very, very
Baron's
low.
gone.
I don't think Nativz can stop it.
They're going to put down the red carpet. PlayStation's coming in on the flank. He's pulled 2 in. They're immediately going to try and open up onto the fight. Over the wall, Cast jumps. Vladdy, low HP. PlayStation still alive. Rusty Sniper able to get one with the Collector. Cast is still coming in on that flank, though. Demboxney throws down the Moonlight Vigil. There's the kick. Demboxney is down. Cast, he might have had the roughest game of his life, but that kick decided everything, as Unicorn will stop this game from going any further. Nativz will not be going first here at the NLC. They will be secured into second as Stefan falls down for an 8th time this game, down in for a double kill. 11 kills to Rusty Sniper, and that is the upset I've been wanting all day.
I do not believe. What did we just see? What did we just see? What a game from UniQ. You said the upset the day, upset the split, bro. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely insane stuff. Like, of course, UniQ got some fresh faces in, some new characters in, and they're not the team they were when they were like really bottom feeding, but still, bro, you can't go down like as far as you did there against one of the best teams in the league and still pull it back.
Yeah.
Insane scenes.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like it is crazy to see like this the transition that they have been going.
Yeah, I think we've got to decide on MVP, guys.
I saw the messages.
Right?
I was gonna say Flay as well, but
it has to be PlayStation.
It can't be. I mean, there's an argument for UniQ Corn because he salvaged what would have been a rough earlier part of the game, early game.
You'll get that right.
Portion of the game. I can speak. It's so hard. I actually think this one is like between Rusty and between UniQ Corn, and I don't want to make that call. I just think we have to make a decision.
Rusty's another good shout as well. UniQ Corn, Rusty Sniper, PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, like
I'm gonna vote PlayStation. I think he had the playmaking, right? If he didn't find the engages, it didn't matter how fed UniQ Corn was. Legitimately, I think it was definitely on him.
Yeah, I think honestly, UniQ just as a whole did really well, but I think PlayStation was like the catalyst for UniQ.
Yeah. He was the catalyst who got the whole team back into it, while I think UniQ Corn was the person keeping the game alive for them. So I think, I'm going to have to give it to you as well. I think PlayStation has to be MVP. It was crazy. It was just like, he just didn't care. He was like, this game's either over or we just like repeatedly dive until we start winning fights. Yeah, like that was that attitude. It was the person who's lost really hard, but they're not inting, but they're gonna like make int plays and just see if that can save the game, and it worked out. That was huge from PlayStation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, again, you kind of start to wonder what if these changes were made 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Were those options? Were that wasn't even an option, right? That's also another big question you gotta ask yourself. Like, did they have the opportunity to do that then? But it's just crazy to see this completely like revamped UniQ, right? Because it wasn't like Vulture was a big issue for the team, for example, right? It wasn't like Poopy, for example, was a big issue either. But the playstyle of this team now is just so radically different, Aragon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it needs there, but all good now, fixed. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like they're way more proactive. And like I said, the engagers, somehow they're securing every dragon with all their setup every single time. Like last game versus Verdant, I highlighted they got Soul. And it's all because PlayStation and Cast would find these flanks after securing mid-prio. And they're so high level now, right? I'm so gutted by the fact that they found themselves this late on into split, because I really do think they would have been a playoffs team if they could do this from the start.
Yeah, you also got to think in the grander scheme of things for UniQ as an organization, right? They'll have to play relegations here most likely when you look at their performance combined over these two splits as well. So they're looking like a team that definitely is strong, but they also got to fight for their spot in the NLC here, Brain.
Yeah, I think that's the silver lining, is they found their form at least now. So when they get to playing for their spot at the NLC, I feel like they have a better hope than they ever did. Right now, as long as they keep playing in this style, maybe don't die like 20 times between your jungle and your support. But I actually think this is the best form they could want to be on for those relegation matches. So yeah, it's a bit of a rough silver lining, but like it's at least a positive we can take from this is they don't look completely hopeless. Because if we'd had this discussion 3-4 weeks ago, I would have been like, yeah, UniQ are pretty doomed, man. But I actually think, this is a team who depending who they play versus, might have a pretty good run of it.
Yeah, and let's hear from the man in the top lane, UniQ, who is one of the faces that was not replaced on this unique roster. First of all, congratulations on a great victory, UniQ.
Thanks. It was a great game. I hope it entertained the viewers as well.
It was definitely entertaining here. So we had the pleasure of interviewing a couple of the other players last week, but like, what has this change been for you in playstyle, right, with Cast and PlayStation bringing some more aggression to the team?
Well, at least PlayStation has a great knowledge of the game, and it really keeps us in like same mindset on the middle game and earlier, and it just helps so much to play with someone who knows what to do at certain points, because we don't scream so much, we don't have so much time to learn everything, then we have a better. And for jungle, I think we have a dude who yells everything in the comms, but it works out, so things happen.
Yeah, so I kind of want to hear about your, like, you have one match remaining in the season. Playoffs is off the table, pretty much. I think there's no mathematical way you get there. So what is your aim for tomorrow? Is it going to be, like, just have fun with the team, or what's the situation there?
We always go, if you play the game, you play to win. There's no other reason. Otherwise, we could just have if the plan is to have fun on the Rift. Of course, winning is fun, so you can have fun at the same time.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, UniQ, and best of luck tomorrow.
Yeah, see you.
With that, we're going to go into this interview with Dan Voxner of Nativz. Hello,
Yo.
mate.
Yo, what's up?
One of many interviews the two of us have had this season.
Yeah.
This time around, you're coming off of a banger of a game, but not necessarily a banger of a game in the way you would like it.
Yeah, it was just like, I think early game was just, like we usually do it. We were really far ahead. There wasn't really anything, how can you say it, like, bad. There was just a few oopsies here and there, but like, it was just like, oh, we're ahead, we're comfortably ahead. I would assume we're like ahead like 4k or something in the mid game, and then we give them Nash for no reason, and then the game is hard, like, even with Nash, we lost. I can't speak too much, but even with Nash, you can see this game was still like, winnable. We just had a few oopsies, so it is what it is. Like, I personally don't really mind winning or losing the game. Like, what I like is just we got a bunch of team fights. There's a bunch we can look at. Like, we already secured top 2, so honestly, it's probably the best version of events for us if we want to get better, if we want to get actually good. So it is what it is.
So you got more value out of this game to a certain extent than you would have a scrim to but it kind of has the same value to a certain extent, or what's the?
No, I think we got more value because it's like when you play a game that you want to win, the other team wants to win. Like a scrim is quite different. That like sometimes people will FF, or it's like it's not your life is not really on the line. So I think this you always kind of bring your A game to an official no matter what. Like even if you're like, oh, this game doesn't, like, it always matters, and I don't think any like competitive player will say it never matters. So I think because of that, you see people fighting when they're behind, like they were fighting back, they went for plays, so on and so forth. So we, and we expected that too. We were talking about it in comms, so on and so forth. So yeah, I think that's just the main thing. Like you actually have two teams competing till the bitter end, and because of that, there are so many more things that end up happening throughout the game that we can look at and learn from and take with us further.
Yeah, awesome. I love to hear that, right? Because for you now, all focus on, obviously you have the match tomorrow, but then the focus on the playoff series and everything you can get for that, and you get even better and even more sharp for playoffs, right? Because now you know what can happen in playoffs, I assume at least, right? Like you would not want a repeat of this game in playoffs, for example.
Well, I think this is gonna be most playoffs matches, but maybe I'm wrong. Like a style like this, like You know, like it's never over till it's over. So I don't even think, like, I think it's just good practice all around. I think obviously in a playoff match we would want to close it out cleanly when we're that far ahead. Like, there's no excuse really. So yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, then, Voxner, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you. See you.
See you. Good old-fashioned salute there coming through. Actually, I think that's like my most used emote these days is the salute emote. It's so good, man. Like, honestly, it's such a good emote.
Yeah. No, I've kind of yoinked it from you. I won't lie. You used it a bunch, and I started just using it in every chat that I have. Yeah, thanks for that. It's good.
If you just joined my predictions instead, you wouldn't be so far behind.
Okay, here we go. Oh, look. I have to try something. There's a reason I predicted fourth wall over, who was it? I think Verdant today. And they nearly won, right? They nearly won, and I almost got over
Ruddy.
Ruddy, that was it. Fourth wall over Ruddy, and they nearly came back in that, so. There's justification, but I won't lie, pretty poor performance from me.
Absolutely.
As predicted, to be honest. Let's be real.
Come on, man. Last split I did well. I came second.
Well, that was last split, right? That's
Bro, I've had a 98% split. I have nothing to prove.
That's actually wild, to be honest. That's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Have you ever had anything like that, Foxtrap? I mean, have you ever scored like 98 on a test, for example?
I won the prediction. I don't know what it was called, but I came first in predictions on NLC one split. So yeah, when I showed up next time, I came in with my big brain outfit and swagged on everyone in the pregame. So that was fun.
Yeah,
you and your outfits, man. Yeah. You and your outfits. I'm thinking back to, like, was it like Captain Brexit or something for EU Masters the first time you just turn up in like full UK Union Jacks? So good.
That's brilliant. That's
you guys flame me and Duckling for Danish bias, and when we have people on this broadcast literally rocked up in their own flag on a broadcast. I see how it is.
True.
Yeah, but we were losing. That was why. That's what made it better. It was just pride in the fact that we were doing terrible.
All right, should we look at the results here instead, guys, and look at like how this day has unfolded? I was gonna say in unexpected fashion, but well, that final match there kind of puts an end to that. But Verdant took down Domino, Nord took down Veneer, Fallfall took down Ruddy, and Nativz lost to UniQ here. So we're gonna go right into the standings because it's very important for the playoff race here, Aragon. Looking at this Nord versus Domino situation for the fourth place, that's gonna be so key tomorrow.
Yeah, it really is, and I have to say I do think Nord looked better, although Domino did look decent. They were the first game of the day, and they really took it to Verdant, right? Like, their early game, it wasn't as shaky as last week. I think they could do some damage, but Nord, they did look like a cut above Vanir at the very least, and yes, Vanir is our bottom table team right now. I just think they look a little bit better than Domino.
So here's the big thing about this. Right now, Domino are in potential to still make that fourth spot, because of the fact that last time these two teams played versus each other, Nord won. Domino need to win tomorrow to tiebreak, and if they win, they then put that tiebreaker at 1-1, which means there will actually be a tiebreaker between them. That's the only real tiebreaker we have coming up. I know there's a bunch of other teams currently tied in the standings, but like, kind of irrelevant right now because they're not making playoffs. It's purely about the Domino and Nord's tiebreaker. That's going to be super, super fun. I guess on the other side, Fallfall and Veneer are fighting for their lives to see if they can avoid relegations. Just going to take a quick look at who they're playing versus tomorrow. Oh no. Okay, well that's going to be fun. We'll have a look at that later. But
not good.
Yeah, the Domino Nord stuff's going to be so hyped tomorrow.
Let me see. I have it here. If you give me a minute, as I press the space bar very aggressively. Nord are playing Domino, as we know. Veneer's playing UniQ, and we have Fallfall playing Verdant tomorrow. So those are also some banger matches right there. But should we look at the most banger graphic in the NLC, because it has my name next to a first place sign?
Wait, how am I almost 50%? I'm actually bad at losing. When you think about
Venom has been saying this all throughout the season.
Oh man, when you think about it, I've got 51% because I'm trying to predict losses. Now, I will admit, I was somewhat inted today because I definitely would have chosen UniQ. That's on me though. I should have I should have looked at the standings. Thank you for at least picking Domino for me. I'm happy for that one. I can't remember who did it for me, but you.
Didn't you place all of them at the same time though? Versus,
Oh no, I predicted Vern to lose every game. I did that in advance.
But color casters, they're all just frauds, right? I think that's what
Rudu. I mean, we have Rudu. Rudu's doing pretty okay, I guess.
But he's also like one of the lowest places, right? Like legitimately. Is he? Oh wait, no, he is.
third.
Sorry, I thought that was 8th, right?
Bro,
it's third.
You
third.
can't do
This is-
predictions.
this is
and
not
you
TFC.
can't count.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
my word.
Rude, dude. Like dragging us, like dragging the corpses of all the color casters up. I guess me and Veteran like not doing too hot. Yeah.
I just
Paragon,
think
we
it's-
could probably replace you with your cat, and your cat would predict better.
Yeah, honestly,
We'll just put the
have
two things down, and it'll bap on whichever one.
Have him press like a key on a keyboard, right, and see what he presses. Yeah, I know for sure. Holy moly!
Hey, look at those guys.
Ooh.
Look at them.
Yeah.
We had some good
who is the
players
overall
today.
MVP for the day?
PlayStation, easily. It's PlayStation.
Yeah,
In fact, we've
I'm
got two
inclined to agree.
supports in the MVP is also quite interesting as well. Usually supports kind of struggle to get the recognition they deserve, but
Yeah, and no top laners. Crazy.
all junglers.
I
Come
haven't
on.
been allowed to vote for a top laner for MVP the entire split. Every time I suggest one, you shoot it down in brain. You say no. This has happened so many times you would not believe.
Hey, you
Oh
went
my.
for PlayStation. I countered, and then I agreed with you. So you are disproven there. But you're
I
right.
think
I've
so.
definitely shut down more of your predictions. but
We just gotta say for the people at home there, though, remember to go over to Twitter at NLC LOL to put your vote in the ring for who you think is going to be player of the day. And with that, Foxdrop, I would like to hear who is your player of the day.
I mean, I kind of have to give it to PlayStation as well. I just think he was, even though he was turbo running it down like constantly, a lot of times when he was running it down, it was good for his team. I'm going to give
is
a
he
little
running it
shout
down,
out
then?
here. Yeah, he's still running it down. He's still just like, he was just right clicking on enemy characters and then, flip a coin, does it work? And a lot of times it landed heads. So yeah, credit to him for it. This is someone that's not even in our MVP list. I don't think he deserves to be there, but I'm just going to say shout out to Clover from that game 1, by the way. Like, as far as like individual impact from for their team goes, he was like proper standout from that, and some of the best split pushing strategy like execution that I've seen. So shout out to Clover.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
say Mr. Spin the Block, but yeah, sure.
Well, he should be there. He should be there, to be honest, shouldn't he? But
You probably should, like, self-proclaimed MVP, Shihan, aka Mr. Spin the Block. You can type a comment if you think he should be getting that player of the day over at the NLC LOL Twitter account. But guys, it's been amazing today. We've had some banger games. Tomorrow we're going to close out the regular season. So without much further ado, let's just remind people again, we start tomorrow at 5 p.m. British time.
oh, we're an
6
hour
p.m.
later.
No,
no,
what do you mean?
that's normal.
Oh, wait,
time.
no,
I said,
sorry.
I said British time.
Bro,
Because I don't know which
bro,
time zone you
I was
guys are
thinking
using.
I was thinking of cool time, not the start time.
To be fair, when you introduced that WeChat, just a reminder, we're starting to. I was like, is it a different time? And then you said 5 p.m. With the reminder, we start at the same time.
I thought because like we had a majority British set of people on the broadcast, I'd be like,
No, I
nice to
appreciate
you.
the translation, Riga, mate.
But-
Appreciate
We're
it.
50-50 for who's in UK and who's in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in Germany,
That's
right?
true.
I'm
Everyone's
based in Germany.
Yeah.
So,
No,
but I am
true.
British.
You
So
are British
I
indeed.
understand and appreciate it, mate.
Very posh. So with that, let's say thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. See you guys tomorrow again when we close out the season. Don't go anywhere. I guess you could go somewhere, but remember to come back this time tomorrow.
No, stay at your computer. Don't leave. Sit. Remain. NLC grassroots system, and here is a full rundown of what is coming.
The Northern League Championship, commonly known as the NLC, covers the northern part of European League of Legends and feeds into the prestigious EMEA Masters tournament system. The NLC combines Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Iceland, Malta, Ireland and the United Kingdom into one ecosystem, and now the grassroots scene is getting a revamp. Today, the NLC consists of 4 divisions. Moving forwards, divisions 3 and 4 are dissolved and will move back into a national system spread out over the 5 sub-regions of Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway and the United Kingdom and Ireland. Fear not, Iceland and Malta, you're not forgotten. Players from these 2 countries can freely roam as residents in all 5 sub-regions. Each sub-region will be operated by a trusted local tournament organizer. Maybe you recognise any familiar faces. National competition is a part of our region's roots, and now it's back to revive the spark and thrill of national rivalries that we used to love. Hold on though, that's not all. In addition to the national leagues, a brand new NLC ladder will see the light of day. On the NLC ladder, teams can join at any point during the split and compete. By challenging other teams to a match and winning, teams can rack up points and climb the leaderboard, taking all of the best parts of your ranked ladder experience with your team straight into the NLC ecosystem. Look out for more information about the ladder system later this year. Now onto the part that all sub-regional teams are fighting to reach, the NLC Regional Promotional Series. The NLC RPS is an interface between NLC Division 2, as we know it, and the new national leagues. At the end of each split, each national league sends 2 champions to the NLC RPS. The national leagues will be joined by the 2 bottom teams from the NLC Division 2, as well as the top 2 teams of the NLC ladder. Come out as one of the 2 winners and your team has secured a spot in the NLC Division 2 for the coming split. The rest will return to their respective national leagues. With all of these new implementations, the competitive year will be divided into 3 splits for our sub-regions: spring, summer and autumn. The NLC Divisions 1 and 2 will continue as we know it, with the spring and summer split. While the national leagues will play in spring alongside the Aurora Cup in autumn, the NLC ladder will be active for all 3 splits. Due to the imbalance, the NLC RPS will only run for the spring and autumn splits, meaning the NLC ladder summer split won't allow entrance. We hope you like what you saw and are eager to learn more about the coming months. The NLC grassroots system kicks off in autumn 2023, so get your squad together and prepare for the national leagues. We'll see you on the Rift.